Two aliens are flying in a saucer. Two aliens are heading to the earth. They are too far, but they are getting closer. Their tentacles are moving back and forth. One is thin and tall, the other's fat and small, but they are not ugly at all.
Okay guys, we welcome you to Sunday Freak, to our interview part, and today we have definitely the legend, the guy who spent last 25 years inside electronic music, and we used to say even that some people don't live so long, but he's living and he's more alive than anyone. And today we are sitting with Merv. It's Static.
Hello.
And so the first question I would like to ask you is usual question.
What the fuck are you still doing this for?
Exactly, man. So what is the point? And let's say if you're already here, how did you start?
I still actually like it for some reason. I keep coming back every year, and it's like, yeah, I should have stopped 24 years ago, but I didn't. No, I still love it.
So what happened 25 years ago? How it all started?
Well, I was in a really complicated prog rock band called Ozric Tentacles, and it was very complicated and you know, kind of jazz rock. And but I got together with the keyboard player Joey, and acid house had just started, and it was really nice to suddenly hear electronic music that had a sense of humour, and it wasn't all serious and all, you know, complicated. It was just like, let's see how mad and stupid we can get the synth sounding. So that's kind of that's why we.
You succeed.
We basically had every time we had a night off from the Ozrics, me and Joey would get together, we'd neck a few things, and we'd basically make stupid music all night.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm still doing that now.
But how this stupid music came inside all this massive amount of the genres you passed through this 25 years old? Because not like only you're famous by trance music.
Yeah. Well, in the original time, it was just like, we both had a massive interest in all the alien thing. I grew up in the West Country, and I grew up next to loads of stone circles and crop circles. So I was going to see, you know, crop circles when I was 10 years old. We used to hear rumours in the school that, you know, a flying saucer had landed in the fields nearby, and they'd left the marks of the spaceship. This is what we found out at 10. So we used to ride our bikes to the fields and see all these amazing patterns in the corn. So
you saw it by yourself?
Yeah, when I was 10 years old. So all that was kind of in, and then a lot of the school trips I used to do as a kid, we used to visit all these, the place where I live has actually got the highest amount of Neolithic caveman burial places in the whole of Europe. The highest bit is in where I live.
Where it is exactly?
This is in Wiltshire in England.
Okay.
So I remember visiting these sites when I was 5, 6 years old with the school, and they had a really deep impact on me. Basically, I felt really strong energies there, and I was 5, 6 years old, and I didn't even know what energy was. And kind of when I met Joey in Ozrics, he kind of had this big, deep kind of connection with the alien thing as well. So in a way, the alien thing kind of inspired us to do the dance music, and we just wanted to do music that sounded not of this world, you know.
Tell me something, you know, many people used to say that trance music, psychedelic trance, is some digital message from outer space, actually from the aliens. What do you say about that?
Well, I wish more of the trance did sound alien, because I actually find a lot of the trance scene at the moment a little bit, you know, it's a bit safe, a bit normal.
Lately, or?
Yeah, in the past few years. It's like, you know, for me, psychedelic music means liberation. It means having a crowd in the palm of your hands and being able to do anything with that crowd. They don't know. The whole fun of all being in a psychedelic journey together is nobody knows where you're about to go, you know? Nobody wants to sit there and like, okay, we're going to be like this for the next 2 hours. It's better to... I like going from a slow track and then flying into a drum and bass track and then dropping into a trance track, and just, you know, I find people are much more excited if you're taking them on a journey, and you know, people don't really, I think a lot of people are underestimated. I don't think a lot of audiences care about what genre it is. If good music is good music, psychedelic music is psychedelic, you know. And I think many festivals, they don't realise this, you know. They have one stage with the same music all the time, and even the audiences now are a bit tired of that, you know. They want to be excited, and, you know, they like the unpredictable side, so more of that there should be.
So how do you see the, for example, the alternative It's Static festival? I mean, like the stage.
Well, it's funny enough. Funny you say, in 2 years I'm 50 years old, and I always said if I was ever going to do a big party or if I was ever going to do a festival, it's going to be when I get to 50, you know. I don't know if that's because of the band or whether that's just a celebration that I actually got to 50 alive, you know.
Yeah.
I never expected to get this far, but maybe in 2 years' time I'm actually going to do the first and maybe the last Eat Static Festival. And I'm going to get all my favourite artists to play, and the main stage, no one will know what the hell is going to happen on that main stage.
Fusion.
It's going to be trance to jazz to downtempo, everything, and I don't give a fuck what time of the day any of this happens, you know. For me, all this, oh, this must happen at this time, this happen, it's all bollocks to me. It's like, I'm going to grab that audience and they're not going to know. It's just going to be quality psychedelic music for the whole thing.
But psychedelic.
Yeah, all different, you know, just to prove that, you know, I've been listening to a lot of world and ethnic music again recently, and I'll tell you, some of the African music I've been listening to recently is probably the most psychedelic, trancey music I've ever heard.
Yeah.
You know, music from Mali, which is just drums, vocals, and honestly, some of that stuff, it just takes me away. So trancey, it's amazing.
And tell me something, you know, I've done a few interviews lately, and few people, big players, key players, they told that they took the inspiration from you actually.
Yeah, I've heard I'm responsible for quite a few.
Yeah, for quite a few flicks.
Yes.
How do you see the development of psychedelic electronic music in the last 25 years?
Well, to be honest, I mean, I know apparently I've been responsible for a lot of bands. I've, you know, since recently I met people like GMS, and there's Frankie from Coxbox. All these people were telling me the whole reason they got into making trance was because they heard the album Implant, you know. I hadn't realised till recently how influential that album had been actually, you know. I've never really ever thought about the outside world. I just go in the studio and it's just me and the machines. I never think to... The problem is with a lot of artists nowadays, they seem to be making music to impress their friends, or I want to make this music at this BPM because I want to play at this party. And I mean, to me, that's fucking crazy. It's like, for me, it's all about the music. It's your human soul connecting with these amazing machines to produce something that can, you know, touch those feelings inside a human being. And for me, that's like alchemy. It's like being a wizard. It's like a magical spell. There's a certain place inside a person's mind that you can touch, and, you know, just bring them out of their shell, bring them into this amazing place. And I have a lot of friends recently who have been coming to gigs, and you know, and they've been going through hard times, and they've just been coming to the gigs, and the music is almost like a complete therapy, you know. It's like their way of escaping all that stress, or escaping real, you know, and who's to say which one is really reality, you know? Is it the nightmare you're in, or is it this beautiful, amazing place that your mind can go to? And that's the place that interests me, and has done for 25 years, you know.
Lovely. Did you ever meet aliens?
Many times, yeah. Half my friends are probably aliens as well. You are one, actually, look.
In
fact, you are one.
Don't reveal the secrets. Okay, coming back to the music, maybe one of the last questions is, in general, you're also a big figure inside the music, which you used to call Downtempo.
Yeah, the chill out stuff.
Yeah, so chill out, and so maybe tell please a few words about that. How, because you're doing this music.
Well, what I'm going to say is, you know, first of all, we're in the 21st century now. basically right at this moment there's a revolution going on in, you know, plugins, electronic synths and stuff. What you can do with a computer now is amazing. And I've been asking myself the question for the last 2 years, where the fuck is all the crazy music? We have all these crazy sequencers, plugins, all this mad stuff now, and hardly anyone is doing crazy music, you know? And this is what's pissing me off. But I will say, in all the electronic genres at the moment, the most exciting and best sounding stuff for me at the moment is coming out of the techno and the chill out scene.
Downtempo.
These are the producers that are like using this technology to make something interesting, and for me at the moment, the downtempo and techno is the best music out there. The psytrance scene for me at the moment is a fucking joke, you know. No one in the scene seems to know what psychedelic means. They're all using these same samples from each other. They sit there and within 12 hours they've made a new track using all these different people's samples. It's fucking bollocks, you know. And I'm disgusted with people that do that, you know. We're at a sort of point now where trance should be the new punk, it should be the new rock and roll, you know.
How it was before.
How it was. Trance should have attitude in that. It shouldn't be this boring, bland music where we all sound the same, and so yeah.
Great words.
That's speaking from the heart, you know.
Yeah, and so as I know you're finishing now your last album.
The new album is fucking mental. Basically, it's because I had this argument with a few people online, and one of the things that made me the most angry is one of my friends who's a big producer, big artist. He said to me, "I don't know why you're worrying, Merv. Albums are dead." And for me, I've collected albums since I was buying albums in 1975 on vinyl. And for me, there was nothing so magical, even as a boy and even now, as when one of your favourite artists brings an album out, you go to the record shop, you buy the album. Look, you're smiling because you know you've been through that experience, you know. You buy that new album and you're running home, you know, you're smelling the record. It's like, wow, I've got 10 new tracks by, you know, whoever, Depeche Mode, The Cure, whoever it was back then, you know.
I'm ready to run to smell your album, yeah.
Exactly. And this is why with the new Eat Static album, I'm going to do it the old school way. I'm not going to release any previews. I'm not going to sell any tracks individually. It's like, this is the release date of the new album. You either buy the whole album or you don't buy it at all. You can't buy a track. You can't do this. It's like I'm fucking proud of this as an album, and a lot of it was like to prove to people that albums still mean something. You know, for me, when I buy an album, it should represent an artist's soul. You know, it should be your favourite artist taking you on a journey through their imagination and their artistry, and that's what I've tried to do with my new album. And this is the best thing I've done in 25 years.
So it will be double, as you told me.
It's a double. I got so carried away, it ended up it was almost 3 CDs, but I thought, no, I'll save the 3rd CD. It's going to come out as a separate thing. But
let's come in Guinness books. Let's make
basically, there's like 30 new tracks, and it's definitely a double. There's going to be CD1 will be all dancey. It's not all trance. I've done some techno. I've done some drum and bass. There's dance music on there. You cannot define it. There's no genres. Okay. It's psychedelic dance music. And CD2 will be all down tempo, and it's the chill out has had as much time and much love and effort in as the full on stuff. It's like the chill out album is amazing. It's like another level, complete alien, off world down tempo.
We're sure in that actually.
And it should be finished in about a month.
Okay.
When I finish doing these gigs.
We're all waiting for that, absolutely. When
I
was the last one?
I mean, when this album comes out, they're either going to say Merv's a genius, or they will say Merv's fucking lost the plot. Yeah. It's a very fine line, this album. You will either be blown away, or you will just like, man, he's lost it.
The edge of the cloud.
But I don't care, you know, for me, music, art is... I'd rather get a kind of reaction like that from people. I like it if my music confuses someone, if someone hears it and it fucks their mind and they don't know what to think because there's nothing to compare it to, for me that's a job done. That's how I think.
Yeah,
but that's, you know,
we'll make something inside.
I've always thought the opposite of people, so, you know, it's not the kind of thinking that makes you a rich man, you know.
Okay, and the last question actually is that you're planning now to go in Goa.
Yeah, my first time in India. Finally.
So what do you think about this? Looks like for many years all the friends have been there.
Everyone I know has always been there, and well, in a way, a lot of the early Static was responsible for what you call Goa Trance now, really. I mean, you know, before Static's music went to Goa in 88, 89, it was all stuff like Yellow and, you know, you had some of this new beat stuff from Belgium, which was, you know, we loved all that. But, you know, in 1989 you had people like Xavier Morel and Roger Ram was taking all my dats out there, and so in a way a lot of that early Eat Static stuff's very relevant to Goa. So even though I wanted to go there so much, I mean, for me as well it's a difficult one because before Goa Trance even started, I had my biggest passion is world music. All I listen to really in the house when I'm not making dance music is music from Asia, and much Middle Eastern music, Eastern European gypsy music. I mean, this is music when I'm sitting around in the house and I'm, you know, or I'm just eating or cooking and stuff. This is the music I love, you know, gypsy or ethnic world music. And so I already had a big passion for Indian music, so I always knew that if I did go to India in like the late 80s when my tracks were first going there, that there's probably a danger, you know, knowing all the things around kind of, you know, all the Manali regions as well. It's like there's a good chance I'm never coming home, you know. It's like, do I choose a career in music, or do I go and live in paradise smoking for the rest of my life? And I chose the studio route, you know. Some days I think, why the fuck did I do
Let's see, maybe we'll change now in January, and I'll meet you after in Goa and we'll speak with you what happened.
All I know is I know already it's going to be already difficult to leave, you know. But for me as well, I'm a big fan of Indian music, so you know, I was always into all the sitar and tabla music and studying ragas and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating to go there. I've allowed a month to be there before even the first gig there, just to kind of soak up the atmosphere and kind of get a feel for the place, because I love doing that wherever I go anyway, you know, getting there a bit before and you know, getting into the rhythm of the place, you know, the smell of the place and the people. And I've got nothing but respect for all the people. There's many people recently that have been like, you know, been with Eat Static since the beginning, 25 years, and I can't believe they're still fans, actually. It always amazes me. And also recently as well, I've had a lot of like young people coming in now, like sort of 4 to 7 year olds that have all been you know, brainwashed with Eat Static all their lives, you know, because their parents were fans, and yeah, it always amazes me how it keeps going, really. So yeah, you know, respect. Thanks for being there still.
And that was Merv Static on GoaFreaksComTV. Thank you very much, and watch us later.